Manhood series, part 5, Understanding Women. So, I got my notes here as usual. I got some important things I want to share with you. This should be a pretty quick video. I want to hit you with some hard, important points here that's really going to help you understand women as much as possible without going overboard and trying to be too detailed and too analytical about this topic. Building a fulfilling relationship with your partner based on understanding, mutual respect, forgiveness, and a realistic view of love is one of the highest accomplishments a man can ever achieve. Doing this is not easy, especially with the opposite sex, since they often perceive, feel, and experience the world different than men do. Let me give you a few ideas of how you can relate to women better as you work to build your ideal relationship. So I wrote that specifically for you to kind of introduce the four principles I want to talk about next. Number one, men and women are physiologically and biologically different than men. This causes real world problems in daily life, but it's a part of the game. So what I mean by that is women are physically, obviously you can see we're physically different when you look at one another, but our genetic makeup, our biological makeup, down to our cells, our bones, all of that is completely different. Our hormones, everything. So what that does, it causes real world problems because it causes us to function differently. And from our point of view, we have a hard time understanding the way the other person perceives, feels, and views the same thing, the outer world. Me and your mother will look at something and we're both staring at the same thing, but we'll both perceive, feel, and see something completely different by looking at the same thing. It's not because one of us is right or wrong. It's because we are different. We are biologically and physiologically different, and that's okay. And that also can help you if you understand those differences and how they complement each other. Me and your mother complement each other very well because we try to understand each other's differences and grow from each other's differences instead of tear each other down because of our differences. So that's number one. Just expect and understand that men and women are completely different and they'll never be the same, and that's okay. Here's a couple examples. Women feel, men think. So women, they perceive the world through their intuition and their feelings more than men do typically. Men typically go through the world and think of things through a more logical sense. They're in their head more than women are. Women are in their bodies, they're in their feelings. Men are in their head, they're thinking, they're processing, they have mental stimulation up here. Another one is that women talk to relieve stress. They tend to talk to relieve stress. While men, we tend to be quiet and want to go internal and process things inside and think and ponder and problem solve and get to the bottom of things internally. When men get stressed, they distract themselves from the stress. They go and do other things to get their minds off what they're thinking about internally and processing internally until they come up with an answer or until they're ready to return back to that thing and actually process it through. Women, they like to talk the issue out to get through the stress. And when that happens, she's not looking for you to solve problems. She wants to feel heard and understood. So in that case, don't offer your solutions as men typically do, which is something I'm big on doing to your mother. When she's speaking to me, I tend to offer too many solutions versus the solution to the problem is most of the time she just wants to feel heard. So I've had to learn, and I'm still learning, to be quiet. Don't offer so many solutions. Nobody wants to hear my answers. She wants to feel loved and heard from her partner. That is the solution. Listening and loving her is the solution, not your answers, most of the time. Number 2, you must respect your partner as a unique individual and be open to learning your partner on a deep level, their needs, wishes, desires, and weird tendencies. This is a action of love and caring. When you genuinely love somebody and you genuinely care about somebody and you want to be with them for the long term, you want to understand, you want to care enough to get to know this person and understand the inner workings of this person. What do they like? What do they desire? What are their dreams? What are their goals? What do they want to do in life? Where do they see themselves in 5, 10, 15 years? You want to know these things because you want to help that person accomplish their dreams. You want to help that person accomplish their desires. To love someone properly, you have to understand them because everyone gives and receives love different. So how can you love them properly if you don't even know what that person likes? What are their inclinations? What don't they like? What have they been through in the past that they may not like you to do now? You know, these are things you learn as you go in a relationship and you care enough to actually want to know and to ask questions to know. Number 3, the grass is probably not greener on the other side. Men, including myself, we're all human. So when things get tough, our mind can sometimes wander. Your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind can try to convince you that it's better off out of the relationship. You guys are better off apart and you're better off with somebody else, another partner. Sometimes this can be true, but most of the times it's not. What you're going through is just a hard time in the relationship, and it's the stress talking, not your love for this person, not the strength of the relationship talking. It's the stress in the moment. It will pass. It will pass. Don't let the stress in the moment, the temporary stress in the moment, distract you from the long-term pursuit of a happy, fulfilling relationship with your partner. It's going to happen over and over. It's a cycle. It's a predictable cycle too. So as you grow as a man and learn these relationship cycles and learn who you are as a person, when these ideas and these thoughts pop up to, hey, let's break up, let's split up, no, you can tell it no. You can like, you know, ignore it because you know it's just a temporary thing that your mind is playing tricks on you and making you think that the grass is greener somewhere else when it's not. All you're going to do is get with someone else and they have their problems too. You're going to have problems with them too. So why not fix what you have at home now if it's worth it? Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, which means you're better off not being in a relationship you're in right now and you're better off with a different partner. Sometimes that's true because sometimes no matter how much you water the grass, it's just not good soil. And no matter how much you water the grass and take care of the grass, if the foundation, the soil, which is the person, the other person, is a metaphor for the other person in the relationship, sometimes that person is just not right for you, which is why I said the soil is just not correct for the grass you're trying to sow, the seeds you're trying to sow. So you need to go with somebody else and spend that same time flourishing with them instead of wasting it with the person you're with now. Last one. Stop trying to understand her feminine uniqueness. Just love her for the person she is to the best of your ability. I promise you, most of the time, the issues you're having in a relationship, why you're not going to the next level in your relationship, why you guys are not seeing eye to eye, why you're not progressing like you want is because the love is not there. She or you is not feeling the love how they should in a relationship. They're not receiving the love how they should or how they feel they should in the relationship. So you have to talk about that. So just a quick recap here. Number one, I said men and women are biologically different. Accept that, expect differences, expect trouble because of those differences. Number two, respect your partner as a unique individual and be open to learning your partner on a deep level. Her wishes, her desires, her dreams, her goals, her inner thoughts and workings. Number three, the grass is not greener on the other side. Your mind can play tricks on you when things get hard and things get stressful and try to tell you that it's time to go when it's not. Most of the time, it's time to work. Work meaning work on your relationship. Work on yourself so you can present a better version of you to the relationship to help it grow. The grass is not necessarily greener and on the other side. You don't want to try to escape every time the relationship gets hard. It's not what you do. All right. This video is getting too long. I told you I would try to do it fast. I gotta go. I love you. Goodbye.